lived in Morocco for 5 years before I came to China. We wanted to go to a developing place with a developing scene and play to some awesome people.
Overall, it's one of the most different countries I've ever been to.
There's a lot of good stuff to say about Morocco. Good place. The clothing, the sense of fashion, I think, is right up there. I was looking forward to, since the moment I arrived, I noticed these men on the street wearing these sick robes with hoods. And I thought, you know, that's the look for me. I really liked it.
What's up? Oh, look at this girl.
Meeting Faisal for the first time was sick.
Faisal was our Spanish translator. He was our Moroccan get shit doner. He was a part-time driver, and he was also our awesome videographer.
And guru.
Spiritual guide. Faisal and I actually used to play in a melodic death metal together in Morocco called Into the Evernight. In Casablanca, we played in this venue called Bultek, and it's actually an organization that the king sponsors for young people to play music in Morocco. And so he gave them an office, he gave them a couple jam spaces, and in that jam space there's a big concert hall.
The show at Bultek was fucking crazy. I didn't know what to expect. And, you know, it was our first show of the tour, and we were playing to like over 200 kids in Casablanca, of all places.
I know, seeing such a crowd being so pumped was, yeah, pretty damn sweet.
Meknes is this city that's known to have like zero musical infrastructure and to actually have a pretty hard like conservative background, so they don't support any kind of like death metal or punk rock music because it's anti-establishment and anti-Islam kind of thing. But at the same time, some of the hardest like, you know, metal bands and most DIY sort of like metal and punk rock shows happen in Meknes. So I knew that when we went to Morocco we had to play in Meknes.
Cool, man. Let's do it.
And the venue that they selected, the place that they sort of throw shows at now, it's a school that has a little auditorium in the back behind the library, and every once in a while they're able to rent it out to throw shows. And so we played there.
Let's do it.
Everything broke. Everything broke. Throughout the night, when Enter the Evernight were playing, the PA system totally broke down. Smoke was coming up from the monitors. We were, you know, waiting around for maybe like half an hour as the sound guy was getting increasingly pissed off and trying to charge us for everything. I mean, beyond that, you know, I think Oliver broke like 3 microphones. The lights went off in the middle of our set like twice.
crossing the ferry into, Spain was super fucking awesome.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We are about to cross into Algeciras and go pick up our car, and then we're driving to Jerez de la Frontera.
Hey.
Jerez was our first show in Spain, and like pulling into the city, you could really get this sense of like very traditional Spanish architecture. We drove through these narrow kind of cobblestone streets until we got to the location where the venue was, and just inside an old church.
As soon as we showed up, the guys were super nice. They walked in, they had a whole bunch of different vegan stuff for us. They had a whole bunch of beers that they bought to share with everybody. They were super friendly. They were totally cool with letting us share gear. Like, that whole scene was super cool. They had, a girl that was doing spoken word, reading with some awesome feminist stuff. Like, they were selling all the records from the Uber Alles Andalusia Uber Alles crew, and like they were just a really good bunch of dudes, and they took such good care of us afterwards. We slept at this guy's house, like 12 of us, had a fun after party, took us up for breakfast the next morning, and luckily we saw them again. They're sweet dudes.
The drive to Madrid was actually really, really peaceful. There's a lot of like windmill farms and like lots of awesome like landscapes and castles on the way. It's cool just to see that. It was like super fucking chill. Meeting Danny was really awesome.
How do you describe Danny? Danny's this awesome, tattooed, legend. We show up, guys that he's never met before in person. He knows Nevin from a record that they put out together. But he meets us, treats us like he's known us forever. Gives us all shirts to represent, Vallecas tattoo shop. And then drives us around, takes us out to his place, and just treated us so good. Danny's a man.
Danny's place was a place of wonder.
The Madrid show, actually, Danny helped us set up. He had introduced me to some friends he knew in the older scene there, and one of them was the booking agent for Wurlitzer. So the second day in Madrid, we went to visit Potential Hardcore, which is like a hardcore and punk record store. And I knew the guy who ran it had been involved in the left-wing political hardcore scene for many, many years, supporting the anti-fascist movement. And the store itself was amazing.
Zaragoza, city of lovely parks.
We out here eating some good picnic foods, hanging the fuck out, chilling, doing some jump rope, hanging by Poseidon.
When we arrived at the venue in Zaragoza, it was like we drove kind of like into the old city and like almost like cobblestone-y kind of roads, and like the buildings were all old school and like churches over here, but then cool stores. We had a good snack at an awesome vegan restaurant, and then this venue, what was it, AVV Robato, whatever you call it. Yeah, it was awesome. Cool DIY space, like sweet vegan food for the bands in the background. they gave us so much free beer that like it was almost hard to handle, and it was just such a good show.
Anabato is one of the first venues I actually contacted in Spain, and it's like a, you know, one of the good kind of DIY venues in the country. And I've been trying to get on the show there, and they were like, yeah, no, it's full. Like, we've already got a band that date. So I was looking around trying to figure out what else to do, and through Facebook, Aaron managed to get in touch with Mario from Himora, who was doing the show and doing it for Looking for an Answer.
Shout out to Mario for taking really good care of us. He helped hook us up with these shows. He let us join a couple of their shows. He hooked us up with some merch, and he was just such a sweet, awesome vegan grindcore mofo. Awesome dude. This is where like the whole like tour switch happens, where like we thought we were a cool punk band, and now we're like, oh, we are so weak compared to these grindcore bands. It was awesome. Really awesome show. So we're driving to this place, La Residencia, and it's honestly like our GPS says it's here, but we like drive past it and we're like, there's nothing there, and we drive past this way and there's nothing there, and we did that like 3 or 4 times, and then eventually it was just like we saw like another punk kid sort of like walking down the street, and we're like, yo, is this place over here? He's like, yeah, it's right there. It's that little yellow house on the corner, and we're like, what?
Finally, we see this like grungy like yellow door. Okay, so we made it to Residencia. It's this building here, and it's the most fucking coolest place I've ever been. It's fucking badass. Let's check it out.
We walk in through this little door. It's on like the side of this highway just before a bridge with a train track in the backyard. And we walk inside, and there's like a sweet bar. There's like a big outdoor area in the backyard. And like this venue is like super tight, no ventilation, no door. This big sort of like, I don't know, blanket thing that, you know, keeps all the heat inside. And it was a smeltering hellhole of awesomeness. It was amazing.
It's extremely hot. As soon as I walked in, I was sweating. All the staff just had their shirts off. So that was already the vibe set for that kind of show. It was great.
But then by this like third band, when, you know, Himura or Looking for an Answer were playing, like this place was so hot that I think I learned a lot about music and life that night.
We had another, well, not a long drive, but we had a pretty good drive on our way from Valencia to Almeria. I think it was about 6 hours or something like that. And so along the way, we decided to stop for a picnic. And we were driving down this highway, and all of a sudden, like in the mountains, nestled up in this beautiful spot, we see this like old castle, and we're like, let's go there.
The last day of the tour was the day a lot of us were looking forward to the most, because it was a festival on the beach, run by a lot of the Andalusia, like Almeria kind of kids. We got to meet a girl named Mireia, and we ended up staying at her house. She had like dogs, lots of fucking sick records, lots of beer. We just hung out and
Get fucking drunk tonight.
The whole Southern Spanish tour was like leading up to the show in Almeria, because it was booked by the Andalusia kids who had helped us with everything. And the whole point of doing Southern Spain was to end up at this festival.
it was super just DIY kind of style. I think it was run by like overall just 6 or 7 people, and they had everything from, you know, food to like beer to like actual organization, like time slots and like people doing sound. And it was on the beach, like straight up, like powered through generators, and no one was bothering anybody. And it was super fucking awesome just to see like that kind of community come together and throw a show where I swear there was like at least 400 people there.
It's getting closer so we can see a stage. And there it is. Fucking you're right, babe!
It starts at midnight. It ended at about 5:30 in the morning, and it was just so sick that we had this opportunity: go play, go get in the pit, go jump in the water, come back, hang out in the pits, go jump in the water. It was amazing. I don't even think we left that place till like 10 a.m. or something like that, 9:30. It was super.
One of the best fucking shows we've ever played.
I have a certain tendency to break things when I play, and this was a new one. I ended up needing a new snare, and I did need to borrow a pedal that I broke. But this time, from like standing up and getting all over the place, I actually broke a hole in the stage so that like my drum stool like had broken through, and so I was standing up without even wanting to because I had to play this part because my stool was falling off the seat or off the stage. It was pretty cool.
Having a swim, being free as the sun rose up above us. You know, how else would you want to end a fucking amazing tour?
We'll fucking come back one day, I hope.